Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, star maker to entrepreneurs who want to unlock their potential and command any stage. Welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a more abundant life and business. You are in for high-value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, founder of the Brand Star Academy, where I teach entrepreneurs how to be powerful, profitable speakers and create their own celebrity personal brands. Welcome to this episode of Thrive, How to Thrive After 55 with my guest, Judy Basso. Judy Basso is a midlife transformational expert who helps women thrive and reinvent themselves after 55. She's also a 28-year veteran event planner who's planned spectacular, high-end, high-profile events for many, many years successfully. But after having a successful career as an event planner, Judy found herself in a little bit of a transition and wondering why she wasn't loving what she'd loved for so long. And it sent her on this journey of self-discovery. And on the other end, she found that she had a whole new calling in life to help women understand the next move so that they can create careers, projects that they really love in the next phase of their life. And today on Thrive, we talk with Judy about what her transition looked like, what really made her stop and think about her life from this thing that she had loved for so long, and understanding why she didn't love it anymore, but why she didn't know what the next step was and how she figured that out. There's so many people in that phase of life. Maybe they're caring for parents, they're caring for kids, they're busy with careers or their communities, and they don't have the time to figure out, what do I really want? Am I happy? Is this the life that I want to create? And if it's not, what do I want moving forward? So we talk about that together with Judy. She gives us some tips on how to tune in to figure out what our voice is trying to tell us, some special techniques, and she tells us her story of what happened during that time, even though she really was not sure what the next step was going to be, and how she used the people around her to help her figure it out. And now she's using her voice and her expertise and experience to help other women do the same. I hope you enjoy Judy. She is so warm and so wonderful. It's a great episode. And also, if you'd like to know how to find your voice as a brand star, if you'd like to know how to be a powerful, profitable speaker, maybe you've got a presentation coming up and you're nervous about commanding the stage. Maybe you need to know how to use your body, your voice, maybe to hone in your message. Click the link on my website, heatherpoduska.com, and see the consulting tab, and you'll see some of my private coaching programs. Or you can email me directly at heather@clearvoicebranding.com. Okay, I hope you enjoy this episode of Thrive. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska. Welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a more abundant life and business. You're in for high-value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. And I am so excited to have my special guest here today, Judy Basso. Judy Basso is a Thrive After 55 expert. She's also an award-winning 28-year veteran event planner who's planned and overseen spectacular, high-profile events and intimate, exciting ones. She is known for her creativity, her attention to detail, and her inspiration. And now Judy is on a mission. She is creating a movement to help women in their mid-50s and onwards who've been in careers that they love, but have felt a strong yearning to take on a new project or a new career, something that helps them harvest all of their wisdom, their abilities, and to make a difference. She helps them get clear on what this could look like and how to move forward with it for the next exciting phase of their lives. Judy is also a proud Canadian who lives in British Columbia, Canada, and I am so excited to have here with me Canada to Boston live face-to-face. Welcome, Judy. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and we were struggling a little bit with our internet connection, but hopefully we'll be good as we go forward.
All going to be fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Judy, what is a Thrive After 55 and onwards expert?
Well, I'm 57 myself, and I've been in an industry that I've absolutely loved doing. If somebody would have asked me about 4 years ago what I would be doing for the rest of my life, I would say being an event planner. I just loved it. That's what I was put on this earth to do. And but about 4 years ago or so, I found myself kind of not feeling the same about doing my events. And I kind of tried to push that away and that thought away, because how could I even think that? Because it's so much a part of me. And I started to realize that I wanted to do something else. And that really shocked me to my core, because I just never dreamed that I would want to even think of doing anything else. So the thought process started, and I kept trying to shut it out. And it wasn't helping me, because the more I tried to shout it out, the more my inner guidance and my inner voice was getting louder and louder about it. I knew that I wanted some kind of change, but I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of kept going along and doing what I was going to be doing, and found that there were certain things that happened in my life that forced me to take some downtime. And that's where I really got clear on where I wanted to move forward in this next part, in this next exciting phase of my life. Most people kind of think, well, you don't want to start something new when you're in your late 50s. That's crazy. Why don't you just wait till you retire? Well, I'm not one of these people who just resigns themselves. And that's what I did. I actually did that. And when I found that out, I thought, I'm not one of these people to do that. I was just going to ride it out until I was, that magic age, whatever that is. And then I thought, no, I don't want to do this. I love whatever I do. I have to love what I'm doing. And I wasn't loving it like I used to. Mm-hmm. So what makes me an expert in it is that it's taken me 4 years to figure it out, and I am moving forward. I've got an amazing plan with my life, and I want to help others to do it as well.
Yeah, what I find so interesting about
what I've done is
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you go ahead and ask.
Well, I was going to say, what I find so interesting about your story is that you love event planning and you loved it. So it's not like you were going to a job that you dreaded every day. And I think that can be really challenging for people if they're doing something that they've loved for a long time, and then they're wondering, why doesn't this feel like it used to feel? So there's that struggle of, I think I should love this, but I don't have that same loving feeling as before.
Yeah, I've lost that loving feeling. Yeah. I should write a song called that or something. But you know what? It's really interesting. I have been in my own business for 28 years. I have had my own event planning business. And I thought, one day I was thinking, well, why am I not liking this anymore? I thought, this is something I just love so much. And then I had this huge aha that I'm even kind of embarrassed to talk about because it's so logical. I realized how different everything was since when I started my business in 1989, and was kind of surprised by it. I mean, why would I be? Everything has changed since then. But event planning has changed. It was a brand new industry. I was a pioneer in the industry when it first started. Mm-hmm. And people used to say, well, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm an event planner. And they go, what? Oh, whatever that is, it'll never work, right? And I thought, you just watch, I'll show you. And I did. I really, really did. I put on some amazing, amazing events. But, as I said, things have changed. Event planning's changed. Clients have changed. Expectations have changed. Technology has changed. And it's a totally different world from when I started and when I, was going through it. And not that it's bad, it's just different. And then I realized I'm different. I mean, again, another duh. I am way more different than I was 28 years ago. I have way more wisdom. I have a lot more experience. I'm pretty smart about a lot of things. I've learned a lot. My body's different. My energy levels are different.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's different. I'm a different person than I was back then. So when I put the two of those things together, it kind of made sense to me to go, oh my goodness, yes, it's okay to think about doing something different because the whole scenario is different. And so I just allowed myself to be comfortable in exploring whatever else I wanted to be doing.
Yeah, and I think that's something that older people, and I consider myself an older person, has a different mindset about than maybe Gen Xers or millennials.
Absolutely.
Because
yeah, I find that the Gen Xers are. I lost you there for a second. So I'm sorry, can you just repeat what you just said?
I think that that millennials have a much different attitude about it. You know, if they stay in a job for 3 years, they're like, TikTok, what's the next thing?
Exactly.
But Gen Xers and boomers, they're completely different mindset when they started their careers.
Yes, absolutely. And for them to say that somebody's been in a career for 28 years, they cannot relate to that at all. So even that's changing, the amount of time people spend in a career and whatnot. But what's really interesting too is one of the things that's really important to me now in my life is to take that wisdom, take that knowledge, take that experience from my successful business to do something that I can make a difference with. And that's what's really important to me. And I know that I have a lot to offer that way. And part of what I want to do with the way I want to make a difference is to help other women in the same situation as myself to also make a difference. So the ripple effect for that will be amazing.
Yeah. So I know that you mentioned that you had 4 years of transitioning. What did you learn in those 4 years that helped you, navigate that time? What did you do that helped you say, okay, it's time to let go and move on to this next phase? Because I know that you've been doing other things in addition to event planning. So it's not just that you're going event planning, hey, and I'm doing this thing. You had this whole transition.
Right. And it did take a long time. It took 4 years. First of all, there was just the acknowledging that I was really feeling like this, and then trying to sort it out about what direction I wanted to take. And I was frustrated because I just, I was exploring different things and nothing was really feeling right. And I just couldn't put myself behind trying to get going on this unless my heart was in it. So the other things that I learned was rely on your friends and your mentors. I have some amazing coaches that have helped me through some fantastic things. And I said, that's it. I'm just going to bring them back into my life and help me get back on track again. And their help and their tools and their resources and their compassion and love and understanding was just so valuable to me. It really, really helped me to get clear, to get still, to be able to listen inside, and to have confidence in moving forward. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you how grateful I was for that. But one of the things that also happened was my mother passed away. Mm-hmm. And I was very, very fortunate to have had an absolutely wonderful, amazing relationship with my mother. We lived together. She was my roommate. That's what we called each other. She was a lot of fun. She made me laugh every single day. We had so much fun together. And she was smart as a whip, really sharp. And I dedicated myself to making sure she had a beautiful last part of her life, and that it was fun and that it was interesting and exciting and things to do. And she did. She had an amazing end part of her life as well. And but after she passed away, I was in a really horrible state of grief. I just I'd never experienced that before. So it really took me for a loop. But I had things planned. I had work commitments that I'd planned. I mean, obviously I didn't know when she was going to die, but I had to get those things done because I had commitments. And honestly, by the grace of God is the only way I got through those. And they came off without a hitch, but I felt like I was like another person in this body. And I didn't know how to be. I was everything that was going on inside me was so foreign to me. So after about 6 months after she passed away, all my commitments were done. And I allowed myself to have the time to just take a month off. I thought, I need to do this. I need to just take a month off. Now, you got to know, I'm one of these people that goes full speed ahead, hair straight back, and I get things done. And so for me to even think about taking a month off from my business, which I'd never done before, was extraordinary. But I felt this yearning and this need to do this. So 1 month, I thought, no, I still need a little bit more time. I'm going to take another month. And I ended up needing another month and another month. I ended up taking 6.5 months off because I needed that time and space, the time and mental space and spiritual space to just stop everything. And that's when I got my coaches involved and really started to get clearer, and that voice got louder and louder inside of me. And it was such an amazing transformation. I can honestly say that on the other end of that, I feel like a better version of me now. I was scared because I thought, when I was in it, I thought, who's this person inside of me? I have no idea who this is.
Yeah.
And I wasn't organized. I wasn't creative. I wasn't all the things that I wasn't. And I thought, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Because these are the things that I do. This is, how I make my money. But it all came back, and it all came back even better. And what was really exciting about this is I thought, I have figured something really important out. I've got some tools, and I've got the ability, I've got the contacts, I've got the people and the experience to help other people do this as well.
Yeah, because
tighter time frame.
Yeah, well, and I think that a lot of times we chug along in our lives, and it's not until some external force forces us to stop and reevaluate, and then it's like, well, what now? No one ever expects. I mean, like you said, your mom was older. We know that our parents will pass at some point, but we never know when that's going to happen, or when something else might happen. Like you might get laid off, or you might, have some other life transition happen in your life. Maybe there's your kids are leaving home. Maybe it's, a good thing, but a bittersweet thing. And you're like, well, who am I now? And I think that there are lots of times in life that happens. And I think that what you're talking about is a really unique time, because it's not the traditional time when you would think, oh, I'm going to retire, because people seem to be doing that a little bit later. But it's later in life, so it's like that kind of crunch time. So why do you think it's important at sort of this age time that you think that people should, if they want to and are feeling that pull, to reevaluate? What's special about that?
Well, what really came to me was, first of all, us baby boomers that are entrepreneurs, we're not just going to just stop working one day because of the magic number. That's it. We're done. Because we all have that spark, that energy, that we want to take things. It's a challenge. It's part of who we are. So these are the people that I'm specifically talking to and addressing. But it's a great time of your life to do this, because honestly, if you don't do this now, you're never going to do it, and you're going to live out the next how many years of your life just kind of resigning yourself to it and not having fun and not being productive and not making a difference, you're going to be just existing. But why wouldn't you want to do it with something that you absolutely love to do?
Yeah. And I think the thing that's different now is, I think, especially if you've been working in a corporate job, you don't know all the opportunities that are available because of the internet. I mean, not that people in corporate don't know the internet, but I just mean in terms of career options and all of these niche industries and the technology to put things together so inexpensively to really create something that you want, 20, 30 years ago would not have been possible, and to start over would have been a huge undertaking. But now we have this technology and a different way of functioning that makes it so much easier.
It does. It really does. And there are a lot of tools to help people through that transition. It's we do a lot of work from the inside out. It's a spiritual journey as well. And once people understand that, making that connection with your soul, which is the connection to God that I believe, I mean, how can you go wrong with a connection like that? pretty darn powerful, I think. And what's really interesting is so often we shut that voice down. We don't even try, and we just go, I'm too busy. I can't think about that right now. And we shut that voice down. And this is the one that's always going to be on your team and sending you in the right direction, and you got to listen to it. You really do. And one of the things that I just want to add to my last point is really in your mid-50s, if you're thinking about any kind of change now, it's now or never. It's the time of your life to be doing something like this. Because if you don't do it now, it's never going to get done. And you don't want to have regrets. You don't want to get to a few years from now and find out, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? No, we don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. And it's so funny. I remember my mom always told me that she loved her 50s because all your kids are older. If you have kids, they're more self-sufficient, but you still feel, vital, and you have energy and you're creative. And so I think it's kind of that, and you have wisdom, like you said, you have experience. So, and in some ways you really don't care as much.
That's right. Absolutely right. Just, well, this is the way I'm going to do it. And, but it's really, we have to allow ourselves to say that and to do that. And one of the biggest things is our life goes on lifing, and you have kids, and lots of people have aging parents, and your work, and there's all these things, your commitments, your family things, your kids things. There's so much going on that we don't have that time to just stop and to really try and internalize and allow yourself to hear that voice clearly that's talking to you from the inside. I don't mean voices in your head. I mean voices from your heart, your soul talking to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, most people don't have that opportunity. So I've created an opportunity where people can do that. They can get away. I've created this beautiful retreat. It's called Revive and Thrive Beyond 55. And it takes place November 6th through 11th, 2017, in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And it's 5 days long. And we have allowed people to allow themselves to just be pampered. It's going to be a beautiful, luxurious setting. And we're going to be taking care of all of their needs. It's a small, intimate group. There's only going to be 10 people max that are going to be allowed at this. And we want people to be able to have a lot of time where they can just be quiet and be still, go to the spa, but also have the opportunity to have one-on-one sessions with the 4 facilitators. I brought in my dream team of my coaches that have been amazing and have these amazing tools that are going to be part of this retreat as well. And they are absolutely stellar in everything that they do. So, and then there's going to be group sessions, and you're going to be with like-minded women who have who are kind of in the same kind of situation, so you can talk to other people and see what they're going through. It's going to be a really powerful a week-long session, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Well,
And
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I mean, you have all this information about an experience about making this transition to a better way for you in this part in your life. And you're an award-winning event planner, so you kind of have this special edge of knowing how to put together an event. So it's kind of unfair, Judy. I mean, really, it's unfair. Most people are just putting on their event and they're not an award-winning event planner.
Well, one thing that I often hear from people about my events is they're just magical. How do you do that? They're just magical. And when you love something that you do, and don't get me wrong, I still love to do that event aspect of things. And I am going to be creating my magic. I'm going to be putting my magical spin on things. There's going to be great little surprises all along. It's going to be fun, and I don't do anything unless it's fun. So there definitely is going to have that special quality to it, that it's going to be memorable, it's going to be effective, it's going to be transformational, it's going to be fun. And I really hope that if people are resonating with this, that they reach out to me and talk to me about it, and click on our website.
Yeah, we'll put the information in the show notes about it so people will know about it. So I love that it's a little bit longer. So it's 5 days and not 2 or 3 days. And I think that it's such an important time to be able to uncharge, not just to let things go. And especially for women, like you said, we're taking care of kids, we're taking care of older parents, we've got careers, we've got houses, we've got whatever we've got, we're caretakers and we're taking care of other people. And to have that time for someone to take care of us and to really get zen and listen, I think that's fabulous. So Judy, for people who maybe could not come to the event, but really want a little bit of what you are talking about, what would be a couple of tips that you would give people who are thinking about just starting to have that thought of I'm not sure I want to keep doing this? What would you tell them?
First of all, just one of the phrases that I learned from one of these coaches that are going to be involved with this is notice what you're noticing. Notice what you're noticing.
I love that.
That was such a huge, powerful statement for me when I learned it a few years back. And that's the biggest tip that I can give you right now is if you're noticing those little twinges when you're doing in the middle of something that you used to just love doing, and you're kind of going, oh, do I have to go and do this? Or I don't want to go. I want to sleep 10 more minutes. I want to, are we done yet? When do we get to go? Just kind of notice and go, wow, where did that come from? I've never really felt like that before. Notice if it's something that keeps coming up, because maybe some days you're just not feeling well, you're just kind of off, and that's okay. And if it doesn't really, if it's not persistent, then just let it go. But if it keeps coming back and the inner voice gets a little bit louder, and you need to take some time for yourself as well, even if you can just go for a walk in the park or in the forest or somewhere quiet. Keep your phone on silent. Don't be on your phone. Just kind of go and sit on a park bench and feel the sun on your face, and just be quiet and be still and just see what comes up.
Yeah.
If you just allow yourself to have that time, that's part of the whole thing, is just allowing yourself to have some quiet time that's uninterrupted, that's just for you.
Yeah, I love that.
And really nurture it, and try and do it often if you can, because you'll notice. Maybe take a little notebook with you and not write it in your phone, like a little notebook, a little journal or something, and just notice your thoughts that are coming up. And then maybe after a month or so, read back over them and just kind of see if there's a pattern happening. Where is there something that you see on TV, a commercial or something that perks your interest every time you see it? Like, why am I attracted to that now? What is it about that I find appealing? So it's just a lot about self-awareness and really trying to acknowledge it.
Yeah. And I was going to say that too, like you were talking about notice when you're tired or you don't want to do something, but also notice those things, like you said, the commercial that do keep popping into your awareness that you're excited about, and not judge them, because you might not know why why it's exciting to you, because maybe it's a new part of your personality that's trying to evolve that you haven't had a lot of experience with yet. So you might say, oh, that's not something I do, right? But maybe it is something you do or that you're interested in, but you just haven't given it the breadth or the space to bubble up.
Right. One of our facilitators and one of my friends and my coaches who's going to be a part of this is Willie Carter, and she's written a book called Signs, Signals, and Clues. And you can get it on Amazon. I highly recommend the book because, and it's not a very big book, but it's powerful. And it gives really great examples of how to look for these signs, signals, and clues, and to even just put out the question about what you're looking for. It was a really interesting example, and she actually used it in the book of something that I was in a point where I was overwhelmed and I needed some help. And she said, well, what kind of help do you need? And I said, well, I need a really good assistant, somebody who, can do the things that I want, anticipate my needs. I had all this huge list, and she said, well, have you ever had an assistant like that? I said, oh yeah, I had this assistant that was amazing when I did this other project that I did, and she was this and this and that, and she says, well, where is she? Can you hire her? And I said, I don't know. She's fallen off the face of the earth. I haven't seen her. I don't even know if she lives here anymore. And she said, okay, well, set the intention that you want to have the same kind of person that's like this and this and that. So we did. We set that intention, and she said, now just let it go and see what happens. 2 days later, I got shivers just telling you this story. 2 days later, I'm in Costco. And for some reason, I was being pulled to go to Costco that day, and I just didn't really want to go, but I thought, well, I'm being pulled to go to Costco, so I'm going to go to Costco. So I'm kind of wandering through the aisles. I was in the dairy section. I mean, I can remember this is so vivid. And I'm going down one section, and around this corner comes that specific person.
No way.
And I see her. She goes, oh, hi, Judy. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you. I can't believe it's you. And I'm sure she's kind of going, okay, well, it's nice to see you too, but this is kind of crazy. It's a little bit overboard. And so I had to explain to her, no, you don't understand. This is what was happening. We were talking about somebody like you that would be, that I was looking for. And I don't want somebody full time. And she says, well, I had my kids, and now I'm just kind of looking into getting into something. But I only want part-time. And she ended up working for me for 3 years.
Wow.
And so I remember running out to the parking lot and in my car, and I'm phoning Willie going, you won't believe it, this happened. So it's things like that, listening to the signs, signals, and clues that will send you into the direction that, that you need to be going, and be aware what's going on around you, and just really just be aware. Notice what you're noticing. Yeah.
Cool. So if people want to find out more, where do they go find out?
You can go to my website, judybassoretreats.com.
Okay.
And I also have a Facebook page, Judy Basso Retreats. And on Pinterest, Judy Basso on Pinterest, and Women's Retreats. So there's a lot of different ways you can find out more information, but if you want, you can give me a call, or you can just email me. All that information is on my website and how to reach me.
Awesome. And we'll put those in the show notes too, so people can get them.
And also on my Facebook page, there's a Learn More button. Mm-hmm. I'm going to suggest that you take the quiz. If you feel that this is something that might be a good fit for you, take the quiz. It's about 5 minutes long. to see if this is right for you, if this retreat is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then go through it, and if it resonates with you, you'll just know, and then go to the website, check out all the information. But that's a nice, easy way for you to figure out if this is for you.
Yeah, and I love that. And I like that when people say, see if this resonates with you, because there's a lot of push, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it's like, well, I don't know if this is resonating with me. So I like that it's, it has to be the right match. So I love that.
Absolutely. I only want people to be there because they really want to be there.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing.
Well, because it's such an intimate, important time in your life to be able to listen and to have people that you feel like you can help, and that they have to be able to trust you and you them through this process. So you do want the right people in anything that you're doing, but especially for something like this.
Exactly.
So, Judy, we just had a couple questions left. I'm wondering, through that time, when you were transitioning from your event planning career into this new, expert to help people transition after 55 into their next phase of life in a real joyful way, what was the biggest lesson that you learned during that transition phase?
That's a great question. Biggest lesson I learned was to not be afraid of change, and to embrace it, look it straight in the eye, and don't be afraid of it. Change can be very, very exciting. And if you allow it to see, if you even just to allow to yourself to explore it, you'll find that there's a difference in you. And when you felt those things, and you've got that intuition, you can't unknow what you know. So follow your instincts, follow that gut feeling, and really just don't be afraid of what might be knocking at your door, because we all have our purpose for being here, and it's really important for us to stay on track with that if we can. And that's when those little whisperings and that intuition comes up for you, that okay, you've done really well with this part here of your purpose. Now this is your other part of your purpose.
Yeah, I love that, because it's also, the net's going to appear, and not to be afraid of change. And you said that you went through this change, and I think some people are like, well, what if I make a mistake? But it's better. It's on the other side, if you trust your gut and follow that calling, it's better than what you have.
Yep. As I said, I'm a better version of myself now because I went through all that.
Yeah.
And but the nice thing about our program that we're doing is I'm going to show people how to do this in a much more condensed time frame. It's not going to take 4 years for them to have to go through all this.
Right.
And giving them the tools to help the transition, and to maybe this is even just an exploration of, is this something that I want to do? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You may come through on the other side of this retreat and just go, you know what? I really still love doing what I'm going to do, but maybe I'm going to do it a little bit differently, like this or like that. Or, you know what? I'm going to totally change everything, and I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It sounds amazing. And I know that you're probably going to be doing more of these, and really helping women find this new path in their life, thrive at 55. So the name of our show is Thrive. You're helping people thrive after 55. So my last question to you, Judy, is what does it mean to you to thrive?
It means to joyfully be doing whatever you're doing, have fun with whatever you're doing, and just don't compromise that. I mean, life is just too darn short, and why would we be going through life and doing things that aren't fun and exciting and joyful? So just embrace that.
Yeah.
Just enjoy your life and make the most of it. Don't just resign yourself to anything.
I love it. I love it. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and also acknowledge you for this leap that you've made so that you can help other women go through life and really find what lights them up in their calling, and that you've used, your dark night of the soul to help other people, and to to stay with that voice and to keep going along and to really honor who you are. That takes courage and really opening yourself up, and now you're using it to sort of fast track people to be able to do it, to get onto their joy. So I really want to acknowledge you for that, and also thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much, Judy.
Thank you, Heather. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really, really appreciate it. It's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a blast. And I want to thank all of you for coming as well. And until next time, here is to hitting all your high notes. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, it's Heather again. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thrive. Every week we try to bring you people and information to help you change your life for the better, to grow your business, to expand your thinking, and to open your heart. If you did enjoy this content, I would so appreciate it if you would go to iTunes and review us. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. And if you found this information helpful or useful in any way, please share it on out. Let your friends and family know about Thrive. And finally, if you'd like to know more about me, you can visit me at heatherpoduska.com. Until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes.